Never miss an episode of the Final Furlong podcast. Subscribe now on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And now, here's your host, Emmet Kennedy.
Welcome to the weekend preview on the Final Furlong podcast, the Shergar Cup special. We're going to park that till the very end of the show. We'll get the expert opinion of the lads for every Shergar Cup race at the very end, but we're going to first of all start with Haydock. Our first race of the afternoon is 2:25 there. It's the Irish Stallion Farms EBF Dick Hearn Stakes. It's a listed race. Really intriguing running this year. Roger Varian has won it twice in the last 10 years. He saddles Protest, one of two for Cheveley Park. Course winner Sunfall is their other runner. She's having her second start for David O'Mara, whose horses are in better form than when she made her debut for the yard. She's eligible to improve. Second start of a layoff. Second run for the stable. She gets a first time tongue tied. Nice draw in stall 1, and she might be able to control the race in the front end. I will take her at 12-1. George Gorman, follow a 12-1 tip for the first race.
I'm not sure I can follow a 12-1 tip there on the first race, but I did land on something, like not right at the top of the market. Anyway, I've landed on Sweet Française here, the least experienced in the field with just 3 runs, and yet she's rated the equal of the other 3-year-olds here, despite that lack of experience. She's weighted extremely competitively with the older horses as well. She won a maiden last September, wasn't seen again until May this year. She carried a penalty to give a 1-4 shot of 4.5 lengths beating. I think she was giving that horse £3, giving the rest of the field £6. On her first attempt at the listed company, she just pulled a bit too hard, faded into third late on. But look, between the 2 and the 1 pole, she was serving up a real challenge to Blue Bowl and looked like she had Cajole beat before just fading a bit late on. I think if she settles a bit better here, that form means she wouldn't have a lot to find with the best of these, especially there's a through line, isn't there, with Cajole and Never Let Go. She wouldn't have a whole lot to find with that horse there, and the fact she's had so little racing means she's more eligible to improve than some of these, so I'll take her at.
Okay, I'm liking that. What about Andy Newton? Your thoughts on our first leverage of the afternoon, the 2:25 at Haydock?
Yeah, I mean, we welcome back that Shuari, the Ollie Sangster one. I mean, the form going back in the second in the Phillies Mile Group 1 a couple of years ago, but hasn't really fired, and it's got another 133-day break, so that would be a little bit of a worry there. Never Let Go, Ascot winner, Ed Warren, a little bit out of form, so obviously stepping up from handicapping to a listed company here, so could go all right. That Never Let Go, but I think I'm with you, Emmet, with this Sunfall is interesting, and also the other. I mean, probably just play both of the Cheveley Parks. I think they won this back in 2020 as well with being a stout horse. Can't remember the exact name, but I'm sure they've won it before in the past. Like you say, the O'Meara Camper in better form. The tongue tie on that Sunfall is interesting. Course winner.
Voracious, Sandy. Voracious, just like you.
That's it. That's all. And also, you mentioned the draw. Stall 1 has actually, which Sunfall has won 3 of the last 5.
Yeah.
So that's another bit of a tick for that. And obviously Protest that ran Goodwood last week, out again quickly, up slightly in grade, but lightly raced. So yeah, I'll take the 2 Cheveley Park ones here, mate, to be honest with you.
12-1 about Sunfall I think is going to disappear. Peter Michael, your thoughts on our first race of the afternoon?
Well, I'm in agreement with George. I think Sweet Française could be a bit of value here. I like that run behind Blue Bolt. There's not much pace on, and Sleepy Joe can normally dictate from the front, and he's not bad when he does that. So I hope they decide to go for the front with this filly, and she could dictate the race and get the run of the race. And if that happens, she should be placed, and she'd have as good a chance as any to win it in my book. So I don't know if this is 2 against 2. Is it a match bet?
They call him Sleepy Joe Biden. We're not.
That's good. Do that again. That's excellent.
What?
Honestly,
One and done.
Make racing great again, Emmet. Come on. That was good.
Are we all going to start wearing Make Racing Great Again hats? Just like random appearances, red hats on the show.
But I'd like to hear more of that.
You might hear more of it, perhaps. Perhaps the Trump impressions will appear a little bit later on. All right. 2. You're going to have to remind me now. My brain has just been Bidened by the fact that I've forgotten who you and George Gorman's tip is.
Sweet Francais.
Sui Francais for the boys. Sunfall for us. You know what's going to happen. It's going to be the straight forecast. But which of us is going to come out on top? Notice how Andy didn't take the bait about a side bet, which means I'm not going to take the bait for a side bet either.
I didn't hear it.
We'll save that for Ombudsman and Delacroix. We'll save that for that. There's no backing out of that, lads.
Oh, I actually would be very confident that Delacroix will beat Ombudsman. I'm happy to just commit to a bet now on that.
I'm happy with that as well.
Yeah,
I'm very happy. So this will, well, granted, he gets.
Well, it depends if George.
Leather jackets. The leather jackets forfeit.
I'll take you all on. That's how confident I am.
Speak to me week of.
Okay, so we'll do the leather jackets forfeit. Andy and I will commit to that now. That if somehow that overrated Ombudsman beats Delacroix, Andy and I will wear boy band leather jackets.
Ombudsman will beat Delacroix if it gets.
No, you're delusional. Completely delusional. And then
All
we'll have to
right,
work
though,
out what the
hate it.
leather jackets for you guys as well. You're the ones who put the jockey silks
I don't
thing
know.
in.
Hold on, George. We need to have a chat about that.
No, you see,
Stake-wise.
who's changing terms now? Oh no, who's changing terms?
I think we should up it up a bit. Leather jackets, not.
Peter, I thought you said you're never back in a William Buick horse again.
Hopefully he's not riding. Oh, if he doesn't learn from the last ride, I mean, anyway, let's save that for another week.
Yeah, just for a reminder to everybody, Peter Michael, his favorite jockey, William Buick, he is once again committing to his favorite jockey, William Buick. Whereas we're going to have Ryan Moore. Buick's obviously great, but I'm very confident that we're going to win that one. Almost a little bit too confident. Okay, the 3 o'clock at Haydock is the second race we're going to cover for you. It's the Betfred Rose of Lancaster Stakes, again live on ITV Racing and on Racing TV. We're over the 10 furlongs. Detain is your favourite at 11-4, 3-1 about Royal Dubai, who was a really good winner, produced a career best on stable debut for Owen Burrows, whose yard continues to be in tremendous form. 4 runners, 8 runners, 4 winners in the last 2 weeks, including a big race at Goodwood last week. That was on the Saturday. He and Rashabar pulled clear of their rivals. A repeat of that effort, I think, is going to see him very, very hard to beat. I like him an awful lot, George Gorman.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd agree with you there. Like he's yet to find success at group level, Royal Dubai, but he's had a good few goes. But he, like you say, he comes here in good heart after downing Rashavar in the Steventon Stakes last time. That effort was rated equal with his previous best RPR of 113, which came when he was beating a length in the Summer Mile last year. Equally, like his 4th in the Paradise Stakes, that Queen Anne trial at Ascot, has worked out pretty damn well behind Sardinian Warrior and Docklands. Like, he sort of looked like he was going to finish 3rd in that before he ended up needing the run, I think. I think hopefully getting his head in front will have sort of sparked him to kick on now and sort of deliver on the promise we've seen a few glimpses of over the years. And there is one at a bit of a big price as well, and it's not the first string, but First Conquest is a big old price here. You look through his form, some of it's very eye-catching. Even going all the way back to his debut, he was beaten nose by Lead Artist in a maiden. He's beaten 4.5 lengths by Ombudsman, giving him £6. Even in Dubai over the winter, he beat subsequent winners Arabian Light and Galen in a handicap before then going on to beat Cairo, who was 2nd in the Huxley, 3rd in the Queen Anne. He beat him in a Group 3 contest over there. He then went on in a Group 2 run to confirm form with Galen and Cairo, although he didn't win in his final start at Maidan. And came back to the UK, who I'd say a reasonable 3rd behind Persica, who went on to win the Diomed. Like, it all stacks up, all that form. Like, he's had a little break now to freshen up. He's probably going back out to Dubai again. But I think he could run much better than his price suggests. If you were inclined to throw a few bob and one at a mad price, I think you could do a lot worse. And he's probably the price he is in the second colours. Is pretty much it, because the form is all there. But I think Royal Dubai would be my shout for the win anyway. But a very positive mention to First Conquest.
Yeah, 16-1 is the price I'm seeing about the gelding by Teofilio. Seen Charlie Appleby pull off big price winners in the past. Who's to say he won't do it again? Andy Newton, who do you like?
Yeah, I mean, Detain's the only 3-year-old here, so probably worth mentioning that gets the weight allowance and so on. But I'm not sure when needs to bounce back after that sort of poor Ascot run. Her team in there as well. Got another Royal Ascot winner. I mean, it was 3rd last time when dropped back in trip. So stepping back up will suit that for sure. And that's obviously got form tied in with Military Order, who was 6 in that race. I think gave it So military order going to be slightly, more favourable terms here. So I'd rather take that one personally over Hatim. But I think I'm with you guys with Royal Dubai. So, like you say, I mean, Owen Burrows is won, 2 of the last 3 of this. His form are absolutely buzzing at the moment, 50% strike rate. Draws okay, stall 2. All of the last 6 have been drawn 2 to 6. So that ticks that. I think 20 of the last 22 have been age 5 or younger. He's a 5-year-old. There's a couple of 6-year-olds in there, and a certain lad 9-year-old. We can probably rule them out. So and probably the only thing last time out, I know, like George said, he's had a couple of sort of goes at group level and just come short. But last time was only his second run, I think, over that sort of trip, that sort of mile 2. So might be some more improvement to come. Travelled well, ran on well, probably a bit more to come. Royal Dubai yet.
He tanked all over them.
Yeah.
I was sick because I was going to talk him up on the podcast. I was like, no, don't. The 3-year-old will do it. Feckin' idiot. I should have stuck to my guns. But anyway, Royal Dubai, that's 3 of us going for him. Peter Michael, become the 4th and let's make this the nap of the weekend.
No.
Oh, dear.
No. I'm a military order here, lads. Sorry. As Andy mentioned, he ran behind Hatim. He's £3 better off. He was given an absolute William Buick special that day. I mean, drawn 10, I think he was, and one of the greatest jockeys in the world decides to switch him straight to the rail at Ascot, a mile and 2, sorry. And what happened? Horse got no run at all until it was way too late. He was staying on well. Had he just ridden a normal race from stall 10, I think he would have won. And he's £3 better off with Hatim. So I'd be quite surprised if, I'd expect him to reverse the form with Hatim, even though Hatim is a 1.5 shorter than him. The others, of course, you have to respect the horses you Royal Dubai. And you have to respect the team. They clearly have formed, clear form chances. But I think the switch from William Buick to Tom McQuand is going to make the difference here. And I think military order is the one here, lads. I think he should have won the last time. Simple, and he finished 6th. So
it's probably he ran in that Brigadier Gerard as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I mean, there's no disgrace in that form either, There's no disgrace. He seems a better horse since this year, since he's come back from a little break. And I think, look, it's a competitive race. There's not much to choose between any of them, but I would expect him to finish ahead of Hatim. And, I think he's valued 5-1.
William Buick's not even riding in this race, and he's catching strays from Peter Michael.
Just go and watch that ride and tell me how that's a good ride.
Sons and Lovers runs tonight at Leopardstown as we're recording, so that form is going to be tested as well a little bit later on. But you
don't want to be in the inside of Ascot and you're drawn away from it and you move in there. Come on.
I agree. Just wouldn't have been bashing Buick quite so much, but welcome back to Buick Bashing Corner from Peter Michael on the Final Furlong podcast. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna switch to Flat HQ in Ireland at the Curragh. We've got 2 Group 1s to talk about. The first of them is the Group 1 Phoenix Sprint Stakes. It's the FBD Hotels and Resorts Phoenix Sprint Stakes. Good old Art Power loves these trips to Ireland. 4 wins at the Curragh from 6 starts. Who would rule out the old boy winning a Group 1 in a division that is absolutely rubbish? As we spin the roulette wheel, who is the wheel gonna tell us to back in a sprint race this time? George Gorman.
Look, we haven't got any betting for this. I don't know if you have.
Oh, who cares what the prices are? It doesn't matter.
So, basically, my way of looking at it is Big Gossy, My Mate Alfie, and Vespertilio are all very closely matched off the basis of last time. So I'd probably just back whichever one of them's in each way. Price each way would be my way of looking at it, because they're going to finish in a heap again. If you can get 6-1 or bigger about any of them, I'd just back that one each way. Would be my best way of looking at it. Look, Babouche might be too good for them, but I'm very wary of any horse that builds their career off of beating Whistle Jacket. I just don't trust that form. It always just strikes me. I go, that horse has won a group. Oh, but it beat Whistle Jacket. It doesn't matter what else they beat. I'm just like, they've had it handed to them a bit. I'm a bit of a fan of Night Eyes of David O'Mara's. Maybe if he was a very big price, I'd be interested here. But it's hard to take a view without the prices. But I would say those would be the 3 for me. Big Gossy, Vespertilio, and My Mate Alfie will get involved whichever's the biggest price, have a spin each way, would be my way of playing it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I quite like Verspatilia. They had talked about running her in France. And obviously that's not what they've decided to do for whatever reason, but that was the next plan for her. Instead, they come back for this race. Wayne Lorden takes over. I mean, it's such a crap division. She's at least a little bit of new blood into it. Maybe. She's got 2 big runs at the Curragh to her name. She's only beaten the length in that race that the Thunder from Down Under that turned out to be a massive blunder. Storm Boy, dearie me. His ignominious debut. James Delight won that race. She was only beaten the length that day, and then the last day she was favoured by the weights. She got a strong pace to aim at. She finished off the race really strongly. But doesn't Babouche just wins this? Back in Ireland, she seems to hate going over to the UK. She's back at the Curragh, Andy. She'll probably take a lot of beating, but you do have to forgive her that disappointing run the last day.
Yeah, 3 from 3 at the Curragh. And actually, I did have a look back. The last winner to win the Phoenix Stakes and then win the sprint the year after was One Cool Cat,
2003.
Yeah. 2003 and 04, yeah. So good memory of the old years there. But yeah, so it has been done before.
Monster.
It has been done, but it just pulled so hard, didn't it, in the Commonwealth Cup, and lost all chance there last time. Could bounce back, as we know, the track suit, so dropping class. Look, Kind of Blue was second in the race last year. My mate Alfie was third in it. Kind of Blue sort of fallen off a bit of a cliff. You can probably make a couple of excuses for its last 2 runs. Could bounce back. Top rated, I think, in the field. But I'll probably just take a bit of a punt. Like you say, it's a bit of a lottery. You know, you roll this dice a few times and you get a few winners. But probably that Bucanero 40, another course and distance winner. Had a little break since last time. We know it goes all right, fresh. Won a listed race at Naas. And I just think that this would have been a target for a while. More likely to run its race than a lot of the others in there, I think. But it's a toughie. It's a tough one.
It really is a tough one. And it's not helped by the fact that James Doyle has decided to ride Hatem. This is a Group 1 and you don't want to ride Kind of Blue. That course must be gone. He just must be completely and totally gone. But it's such a rubbish division. I wouldn't be shocked if he was to bounce back, but I wouldn't back him. Ides of March is the one I landed on overall, Peter. I like Babouche. Really like Ger Lyons. Obviously, he had a big win at Goodwood, but she's almost certainly going to be short in the betting. Obviously, as we're recording, there is no prices. And he finished in front of her at Royal Ascot, and he shaped really well in the July Cup. He got bumped towards the end of the race as well. His effort could be marked up that day, and it's the roulette wheel spinning for the sprints. Why not?
Yeah, well, as you boys have said, it's not a race I'll be getting stuck into by any means. Babouche is a horse I liked from day one. I thought she could be a pretty smart filly. To be honest, she hasn't really lived up to the expectations I had for her, but saying that, she's rated 111, so maybe I am. You have to be a pretty good animal to be rated 111. Look, as you guys have touched on, the 2 times she's travelled abroad, she's ran below par, especially last time. She's clearly better, she's clearly better than that. I think she's the one for me here. I'd like to see her get back, to winning ways and try and get her career back on track. I know you guys were dismissing Kind of Blue, but he has had excuses for his last couple of runs, so I wouldn't just write him off yet. So I kind of narrowed down to those 2, but it is an open race, and it is a race that none of us would be surprised if anything won it. But if I had to, if I had to go for one, I'd go for Babouche, but I'd be wary of Kind of Blue.
Well, James Doyle picked the wrong Watnan horse in a Group 1 in France at the weekend. He decided to go with Crimson Advocate. Danny Tutup gets back on Fallen Angel. She wins. He's now deciding to go ride Hatem in the UK. That means Danny Musket gets back on board King of Blue. Maybe he's making another mistake, but I think the fact that they went out and bought so many sprinters when they had a Group 1 sprinter for Ascot and he didn't even make the race, I think he's gone. But we'll see. James Francho's a genius, so maybe he can bounce him back. Okay, we'll go to Newmarket for one race and one race only in this episode of the Final Furlong podcast. We are going to the 340, the Newells Park Sweet Solero Stakes Group 3. The Johnston Yard have won this 3 times in the last 7 years. They're going to saddle Venetian Lace, who was behind a Godolphin runner last time out in a juvenile race. The second time she's finished 4th. they've got the favourite, Dance to the Music for Charlie Appleby, half-sister to Group 1 winner, triple Group 1 winner, and Breeders' Cup hero at Space Blues. She's going to be a pretty short price favourite, George, around about 6-4. I'm kind of tempted to back Venetian Lace in some sort of scumbag each-way multiple bet, which will form as we continue talking about this episode. She was a bit wayward towards the end, but the last day, but she'll, I'm sure, improve on the back of that. What do you make of the race?
Yeah, it's a funny old race. You got a once race favourite who danced the music that day at Newmarket, beat Eskimo Pie that ran well-ish behind Fitzella the other day. Ran well at Royal Ascot. Obviously beat Midnight Tango, but he's improved out of all recognition since then. He was green enough first time out to be backing him at 6-4 in a race like this on his second start, or her second start, sorry. Me was very keen over 6 the last day. I'm not sure this also wants to be stepping up in Tripoli. He pulled far too hard the last day at Ascot. And they say Venetian Lace ran all over the place. So I just I just took a punt on one that looked very straightforward last time, which was Princess Petrel. She's just 2 lengths behind subsequent winner Concert on her racecourse debut. Then she took an Ascot novice in very taking style last month. Like I say, she was professional on that occasion, which is what took my eye. Won by 3.5 lengths going away. She doesn't have the experience in this grade that 1 or 2 of the others have, but let's say she looks straightforward. She's by St Mark's Basilica, and out of a 7 furlong winner whose only previous foal won over a mile. She should improve for the step up in trip. She should improve for the experience last day. And at least I'm backing something that I'm pretty sure isn't going to pull too hard and isn't going to hang all over the place, and has experience over the favourite. So I take a small chance on Ed Walker's horse.
Safi Osborne, 11-2 is the price about Princess Petrel. Lay off the lady, Petrel, as they said, as Pierce Brosnan said in Mobland. Andy Newton, what do you like?
Yeah, the Princess Petrel seemed to have a lot in the tank left, didn't it, last time? Yeah, it did, to be fair. And that is probably on the short list as well, I think, Princess Petrel. Yeah, definitely will be suited by the step up to 7. What it be, we just don't know really. I'm not sure if any of them have run in behind yet. So the do all right with the 2-year-olds here, but it's just what I said before. At the moment, their stable is a little bit quiet, so that would be my only little concern. But I probably agree with what George said about Midnight Tango, whether it gets home. I'd rather have that Ed Walker one over the other Ed Walker one. And then you just come back to the favourite, really. You mentioned Venetian Lace. The Johnson Camp, actually the most winning yard in this race. They've won it 5 times in total. So, that has to be respected as well. And that's got the form in the book as well. So, the worry with the favourite is the fact that they got pulled out last time, a couple of weeks ago at Ascot. And, obviously it's going to be, I think it's going to be all right to run here, but that's still a little niggle at the back of your mind. It probably brings decent form into the race, beat that Midnight Tango on debut. So, and that was back in 4th. It's about 33-1 for the 1,000 guineas already. Billy Loughnane rode it that day as well, so they're keeping him, which is a plus. We know Appleby has a great strike rate of his 2-year-olds here, 37% or something. So it's just a treat. Look, it's going to be one of those Godolphin ones that it'll either win, be impressive, and then shorten for the guineas, or it'll bomb out and come bloody last or something. It's one of those, isn't it? Either just go with it, or I think Princess Petrel's the value. So let's go with that. I think for the most improvement to come.
Okay, Princess Petrel for the 2 boys. I'm definitely going to go with Venetian Lace. I think that form with Saba Desert looks really exciting, having won at Sandown and then stepping up on the back of just that one run to go and win the Superlative Stakes. In behind is Italy, who sent off an odds-on favourite. Wild Desert, very unlucky the time before, probably really should have won on his previous start. He shaped nicely back in 3rd. I think they're 3 nice horses, and she should have been in front of at least one of those 3. She just was very, very wayward towards the end of the race. If she's straighter this time around, I think she can run a big race and at least place. You might be able to get the whole loot. Peter, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Nice would have gone very close to winning last time, Emmet. I mean, if I remember rightly, I think she nearly got rid of Oisin Murphy at least one time, and basically unrideable for a good bit of the last furlong, if not more. So I don't know why that happened. I mean, I don't think she showed any quirks in her first 2 races. She ran well at Ascot. I actually thought she'd run well. I fancied her a little bit, and there was money for her, and she just missed the places. I think she just got bobbed out of third by the favourite, I think, if I remember right. Or no, it was an O'Brien horse, yeah, by nose. I just don't know what way she's going to go mentally. The favourite is interesting because she's already beaten Midnight Tango the first time she ran, obviously on her only run. Midnight Tango's gone on to turn into a 95 horse, so it's hard to see Midnight Tango turning that around. But yeah, she hasn't run for 84 days. She's short enough at 6-4. She could just be a different league to these. I mean, Godolphin are due. I don't think they have that many outstanding 2-year-olds at the moment. No. So they're due 1 or 2. Yeah, they're due 1 or 2 coming out now as we get into the letters. Yeah, look, Venetian Lace is the value, so I'll go with her, in hope that whatever caused that
has been fixed. Yeah, absolutely. Venetian Lace for Peter, Michael and I. It's Princess Petrol for George Gorman and Andy Newton. So once again, the team are clashing on a race. We're going to switch back to the Curragh for the Group 1 juvenile race. It's the Keeneland Phoenix Stakes. This is a race that Aidan O'Brien has only won once in the last 7 years, but he has won it 17 times in total, and he's going to win it again this year. It's just a matter of who's he going to win it with. Will it be the unbeaten Coventry hero Gestad, whose form has been franked in no uncertain terms? Do or do not has been second and third to the leading juvenile in the UK, Zavateri, who still continues to not get respect, but he is by far the best 2-year-old colt in terms of his CV and performances that we've seen in the UK so far. That form has been franked by Do or Do Not. Koppel came out and won the Richmond Stakes. Tajej has gone to Deauville and won a Group 3, and he beat True Love on his debut. She's gone on to win, obviously, the Queen Mary and the Railway Stakes, and she's the second favourite for this race. So the question is, do the two of them actually take each other on, or is one of them going to have a stone bruise on the morning? And if they do take each other on, George Gorman, who's going to win?
If they take each other on, Stad wins, yeah. I hope True Love shows up because someone will boost that 8 to 11 to evens, won't they? Someone will put their head above the parapet and offer evens.
Ring, hello, Denise. Is that a super boost you've got to offer there?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to go over what you said, but the collateral form's all there. The visual was there. I said on this show, it was my most impressive 2-year-old of the week. The fact that he just ran completely on his own up the middle and was just like he had a rope tied around him, just towing him towards the finish line. He was so professional. And you've just got to look at True Love's taken 4 runs to get a rating of 115. Stad has done it in 2. Like to be rated £1 lower. The sky's the limit for this horse. I think he's an absolute rocket, basically. If True Love wasn't here and you still had 6 horses, I might have played Power Blue for 2 places, just because I think he's obviously got the form with Stad and True Love. He's been far enough behind them, but I think he's probably best of the rest of these. But obviously with 2 places, that and with True Love in there. But yeah, Stad wins. Simple.
I agree. Half brother to European champion 2-year-old Van Dijk. He's by Star Spangled Banner. He's bred for pure speed, and he looked all speed at Royal Ascot. That was a stunning performance, Andy. Coventry winners, there was a period where they struggled in this race, but surely he just wins.
Last one to win both. Another O'Brien horse back in
Master Craftsman?
2016. Caravaggio.
Damn it.
Oh, well.
Damn it.
And
This is why we need to do the Final Furlong podcast Christmas quiz again.
The Christmas quiz would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
before that,
let's do that again.
You have to go back to 1999 to find the one before that was Vasiliev. But yeah, as you say, O'Brien's won it 17 times, not for a few years, but he's going to win it here. I swear that True Love official rating was 114 earlier. So either the Racing Post got it wrong or something's happened there, because now it's 115. But it was 100% they were the same rating about yesterday when I looked. But that's by the by. I mean, look, it has to give £3 away, but like George said, it's only had 2 runs. It's already beaten True Love already this season. Got in a bit of trouble in that race as well, didn't it? And got out of a pocket and still beat it. So more of the same here, I think. But yeah, True Love is a horse that I think we all like on the podcast, and she's definitely improved and this, that, and the other. And like George said, I hope she runs. And there's a bit of a Gustard is you have the fact that Ryan Moore's picked it and says it all really. So yeah, we'll have to see if True Love goes and the price stays. But
if he's the one who lines up, which it looks like he is going to, Peter, Gustard surely wins this.
Yeah, like all of you guys have said, I do hope True Love lines up because it'll be a pretty simple forecast and it'll pay. You might get, I can see Gustad going off short from 8 to 11.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that getting closer to 1 to 2. So that is with True Love in the race. So the forecast might be to play there. I see no reason why Gustad shouldn't win it. And it looks a 2-runner race to me as well. So it's pretty clear. There's no point to waste more time. If they all turn up, I think it'll be 1-2 for Aidan O'Brien with Stad winning it and True Love second. I think it's a good forecast.
Well, hopefully the weather is good. Hopefully the Curragh gets a good crowd this weekend. It deserves it. 2 Group 1s in action, and that should be banker stuff for Gustad, for Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore to give them their Aidan O'Brien anyway, his 18th Railway Stakes, which is a pretty extraordinary achievement in itself. To the Shergar Cup. We're going to rattle through these races real fast. The Shergar Cup is Peter.
Are we doing them all?
We're going to race through every single one of them. You can give your quick, succinct thoughts, and then we'll give best bets. Why are we going to race through? Are we not super excited for one of the highlights of the flat season? No, it's a fun day, and if you enjoy it, fantastic. I have no interest in bashing it. It gets a great crowd. It gets engagement. ITV supported. I have nothing against it whatsoever. I have no idea how Delphine Santiago is going to handle Ascot. I have no idea how Hugh Bowman is going to get on there. Karis Teethan. Maybe we should just back Joanna Mason and Holly Doyle all day. Great to see Robbie Dolan over. I hope Robbie Dolan gets a boatload of winners. Lovely fella. Great talent in Australia. Lovely Irish guy. Great singer too. Melbourne Cup hero. But this is place pot and Super Heinz bets kind of race day. It's not a race day, and fun ones, small ones. Takam Madra is your favorite for Brian Meehan with Delphine Santiago. 7-2 is the price of that horse. Vintage Clarets off a mark of 94, dropped £1 for the defeat to Cover Up the other day. Hugh Bowman in the saddle, the Aussie wonder, 9-2. George Gorman, who are you with?
Yeah, duty of an engineer. Venture Capital's a pound below his last winning mark. Got beat at the neck last time in first time cheap pieces. Runs off the same mark here. Record of 2-3 at Ascot. The other one is a much bigger price. I can't understand it, to be honest. Vespasian is 2 from his last 4. Those are in Dubai, including 2 wins and a second on the turf. He won on the all-weather on his final start in Britain before leaving to Dubai, but he's relatively lightly raced on the turf in Britain with just 5 starts. It might be the case that the penny dropped for him in terms of turf racing over the winter, and I'll be keen to have him on side here at a big price.
Why is 7 questions 18-1 for Robbie?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Look, I've got. Funny enough, I've got 7 questions for you. Has Robert Cowell got a good record in this race? Yes. Does he fit the age trend? Being a 4 or 5-year-old, yes. Will the drop back to 5 furlong suit? Yes. Has he won a Group 3? Yes. Is his mark dropping below 900 for the first time? Yes.
Yeah.
Does he? Yes. Is he going to win? That's your 7th question. Maybe, but yeah, I think last time that run he ran well for quite a long time, so the drop back will certainly suit. And yeah, looks a big price. I think 7 questions for a trainer that's got a couple of wins in this race in the last I don't know, 20 odd years or however long it's been going. So yeah, and the other one probably worth mentioning is Dream Composer. Has been 3rd the last twice in this race. Comes back on a slightly lower mark. I think it was off 93 and 96, it's off 91 now. Draw 7 is a hot stall in this as well. I think 4 of the last 9 have come from draw 7, which Dream Composer gets. So, yeah, Dream Composer, 7 questions.
He was only beaten 5 1/4 lengths in a Stewart's Cup 7 days ago. This is mad. I'll take the 18-1. Andy. Fist pump, baby. Hopefully we're right about that. Robbie Dolan, do us a favour. Really enjoyed talking to you for the Final Furlong podcast on TalkSport. Do us a favour now again, please, in 7 questions. Peter, Michael, who are you with?
Well, I had to get that in one time. Look, it's the race.
Get what in? You literally got interrupted as you were saying it.
I said, can I pass?
Oh.
There's a few.
All right, Declan Rice.
No, Javi, McLeody, loads others have been called. Look, I don't have an opinion in this race. The only thing I'll
Moving
say is,
swiftly along to the
hold on. The only thing I'll say is there is a good bit of pace on. I was looking for some stats from Andy on the jockey of Rosario, Suraj Nuradu. Andy, any stats on him or her?
Who? I think that tells its own story there, doesn't it? Hey?
Yeah, look, they could just overdo it here. They could go stride too fast in this race. So for that reason, I'm going to put up Rosario, who should be held up, and Suraj Nuridu might get a good tune out of him.
Nuridu.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I'm sorry, I don't mean like I didn't do my research. I don't know if it's male or female. So maybe you guys, if anybody know.
Who knows what the preference is for people out?
Yeah.
No,
I actually don't know because
he's a man. He's from.
Who are you riding for?
Don't ask people their pronouns. Have some respect. All right.
Oh yeah, he's not on the ladies team. Sorry,
he's riding for the new Asia side. Yeah.
Is there even a ladies team anymore in this?
No. Why would you have a ladies team? It was stupid.
So he's Indian.
Imagine 2024 and they still had a lady. My God. Jeez.
Yeah. So look, in answer to your question, he's the captain of the Asian team, and he's from India, and he's riding with a couple of guys from Japan coming over. So
there we go. Hopefully,
yeah, I think it's the first time I've had an Asian team, from what I looked at.
I think his dad was like 10-time champion jockey in India or something, and he's been champion jockey the last few years and decided to do a bit more international riding recently.
Racing is big business in India. Yeah. Big business. They're huge supporters of the sport, so that's pretty cool. And best of luck to them. Okay, 210, the Dubai duty-free Shergar Cup Stayers Handicap. We're racing over the 2 miles. Speed round again. Dancing in Paris is your favourite. All podcast favourite, 4-1. Ian Williams, Andrew Balding, Spirit Mixer. Wild Waves for Andrew Balding as well. Hugh Bowman's going to be on him. Joanna Mason on Spirit Mixer. Dario Di Tocco, 4-1. I'm sorry. Whatever. Okay, George Gorman, speed round. Who do you like?
I've gone with a bit of an old favourite for me here, Al Muhit. He's only gone up £3 for winning his last 2 races, most likely because he's won by small margins in small fields. But he's made the running on both occasions. I don't think it suits him at all. Like, he hasn't done a tap until a horse has joined or passed him. I strongly believe that he's got a lot more left in the locker. He just needs a strong pace to aim at, something to tow him along and drag the best of his stamina out of him. So I'm with Al Muhit.
He was brave against Artistic Star the other day. I like that. Andy Newton?
Yeah, look, I think I agree. Al Muhit, yeah, he's had more trainers than fucking, JD Sports, isn't he? Because he keeps chopping and changing. But that Faye Bradley seems to be doing all right. And like George said, just seems to be getting his head in front, gutsy, closely matched with that Scottish anthem. So there might be a bit of a forecast going on there. And the other one, a big price, massive price, that Charlie Johnson one, that Artisan Dancer, I think could go well. If you watched that race back last time when it came 7th, wasn't given a hard time, step up in triple suit, won over this trip earlier in the season, I think. So yeah, Artisan Dancer and Al Muhit.
Peter, Michael?
Yeah, I'd give Al Muhit as well. I think, he's a fair price, 6-1. And the other one I'd be looking at is Fireblade. He's ran into that form behind Many Men is good, and Pendragon is a progressive Ascot horse. So he's bumped in, the last 2 races he's ran in a strong enough form. So they're the 2 I'd be looking at here, but, nothing major. It'd be small stakes for those 2.
And he has improved for a trainer switched to one of our favourite trainers we had on TalkSport 2 this afternoon, Dylan Cunningham. The 245 is the Dubai Duty Free Shergar Cup Challenge. It's over 1.4 miles, and Dramatic Star is your 4-1 favourite. Miriari Iwata is riding. Don't know who's riding Dream Harder, 5-1. Claymore is going to be ridden by Suraj Narandu, 11-2. And La Peluga, Hugh Bowman, Charlie Johnston, 13-2. George?
Yeah, I would love to give Candyman Stan a chance, but my God, he's been beaten a long way the last twice. I don't know what's happened with him. If the first time cheap he's brought about some improvement, that'd be lovely. But There's one here that just jumps off at me is the wrong price, is Night Breeze. First and second from 2 starts at Ascot, both over course and distance. Beaten a length here last time by Mount Atlas. The fourth was a horse of ours called Miller Spirit. He finished a length and a quarter behind him. He finished second to Polestar next time out in the Racing League. And Night Breeze gets to run off the same mark. He was only beaten a length off here last time. So I think surely at 10 to 1, he can at least place again at his beloved Ascot.
Yeah, I thought the dramatic star for William Haggis was interesting, but that's not exactly original considering he's 4 to 1. Andy?
Yeah, look, 7 of the last 9 have been age 4 or 5. There's loads of stats on sportscasting. I think I've done all of these 6 races if you want to delve into that a bit more. Insanity won it last year, so it's probably worth mentioning that one. Claymore, I think, has got a chance with our Indian guy on there. So, I just think that last time out that it wasn't given the greatest ride. I think there might have been a Claymore on it, and I think the step up in triple suit. And look, I know you just crabbed Candyman Stan, but I don't know, I just think the break, Andrew Baldwin's won 2 of the last 6 of this. First time cheek pieces. It's a bit of a leap of faith, but it might bounce back. Just the fact it's had a little break. So, Candyman Stan and Claymore for me, yeah.
For his second last run, the form book says lapped. It doesn't say distance beaten, it says lapped. It doesn't. It says 189 lengths he was beaten.
But that's just too bad to be true, surely.
Oh, yeah, of course. But then he's followed it up with a 27 length defeat.
Yeah, but...
Hey, the positive is improved form. But, I don't know. I've given up on that horse. But hey, I've been wrong before, and I might very well be wrong about that one. 320 is the Dubai Duty Free Shergar Cup Sprint over 6 furlongs. Prince of India 4 to 1. Milford 9 to 2. Up the pace. First time cheek pieces. Siraj Narandu on board 11 to 2. Who are you with, George?
Yeah, I'd say up the pace is fairly obvious of the ones towards the top of the market. Like, he was just caught late home last time. Up another £5 is the only thing. But drops back down to 6 furlongs, first time cheap pieces. The chance of that is obvious. A bit more of a left field one. Dionysios on its second start for Ian Williams. Good horse over in France. Plenty of handicap wins to his name. Well beaten on his first start at Goodwood in the heavy. He has won on the heavy, but he's also won on good to soft, good. Looking for his form. I just think given a run to acclimatise, 16 to 1 is probably far too big about a horse who's, was it his last 5 form figures or 1, 2, 1, 1, 12. I think he's worth giving another chance at that sort of a price, but up the pace is probably the obvious one.
Katie Davis rides 16 to 1, as you said. Andy Newton.
Yeah, that Dionysius is interesting as well, George, because stall 12 has been another hot stall here. 4 of the last 9, massive sort of return, have come out of stall 12, so that's worth mentioning. The other 2 that are quite a good draw is that Hucklesbrook in 10 and the Balding horse, that Markion, I think it's called, with the Swedish guy riding. So that was 4th last time out. I think there's some tie-in form with the favourite, that Prince of India, but it's got a massive weight pull that Andrew Baldwin won, something like £11, I think. So I'd take that one. And George's stall 12, that Dionysius.
Peter Michael?
Yeah, this is a race I have to put work in, and I haven't done it yet.
Moving on.
No. Go back, please. I'm very sweet in Milford. I really fancied him the last time at 12 to 1. The draw just beat him. I was wary that the draw could be a problem. And we were really unlucky not to get up at 12 to 1. The 2 races before that, or even the 3 races before that,
made him alone.
It would have won. He would have won them all over 6 furlongs. So the drop back and trip is exactly what he needs. Prince of India, I'll respect, and Zaire is another one I'd need to look into. There's a few in there that I also have to study. But Milford could be a super each way bet in this race once I put the work in. So I definitely think he's going to run a big race. I just need to do a bit of work. But
Holly rides. Yeah, Holly goes.
Yeah, I like Holly. Holly's super jockey in my book. Milford could be a serious each way bet in this, lads. He's definitely going to win soon, and it could well be that day. So I'm going to put up Milford, even though I haven't researched the other horses yet. But I know he's well handicapped. I know he's going to win soon. And it could be that day. So Milford for me, for sure.
Well, that Mayday Malone was really good at Doncaster at the weekend as well. He only won by half a length in the end, but it was still a really classy performance. We all like Holly Doyle. She's a fantastic jockey. But at the Shergar Cup, there are very, very few jockeys who ride this track as well as she does. So any opportunity you get to be backing a Holly Doyle horse at 9-2 plus is one you should be taking. For those who want to find out what else you fancy on Saturday, and for that matter, going forward, Peter Michael, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah. Send me a message on X, P Michael Racing, or contact me on Facebook, Peter Michael Racing, and I'll give them all the information they need. It costs just over £1 a day. And last month we were up, I think, 58 points. I can't remember. So if you're betting everything, I was tipping, which is the aim, and what is the point of being in there. If your average bet is £50 and you're putting £50 per point, you would have made over 2,500, and that would have cost you just over £1 a day. So yeah, it's worth signing up to, and you're definitely going to make money in the long run in it. So it's a no-brainer, because as I keep saying, you need to put the work in, and most people that like betting don't have the time to put the work in. And if you practice something more than other people, you get better at it. Simple as that.
Let Peter Michael do the work for you at P Michael Racing on X. Get in touch with him. Join the Telegram. Some great insight. More importantly, winners galore, big price ones. 355 Ascot is the Dubai duty-free Shergar Cup Classic. Delphine Santiago rides the favourite Tenability. One of 2 last time out winners at the head of the betting, up £7 for the last win, but he's a beautifully bred son of Frankel, and he could be much better than a mark of 88 as he goes for a hat-trick. William Haggis won this race 3 years ago. Andrew Balding's top team has won his last 4. He's improved £17 to a mark of 89, up £4 from his last win, gets one of the rising stars of the jockey ranks in Japan, Miriari Iwata, who is going to be in the winner's enclosure, though, George Gorman.
Yeah, I think it's hard to get away from the favourite here. Like I said, up £7 for a very easy course and distance win last month. Won a novice by 8 lengths at Windsor the start before. I think he's clearly a horse on the up, and this is probably not a race that's going to take a lot of winning. It'd be the main one. The bit of minor interest towards the bottom, you've got Hackney Diamonds, but he's double declared at Haydock as well. So I don't know what first preference is or whatever. Beat 5 lengths by Tenability in that race at Ascot, but ran quite well the time before at 20-1 at Chester. Beat 2 1/4 lengths into third over a mile 2.5. Gets first time, never worn any sort of headgears. He's not worn cheap piece or anything. Straight to the fan of. I think I might have a small bet on him if he showed up at Haydock over the mile 2.5, but I'll probably leave him here over the mile 4.
Madawi interests me to a certain extent with Joanna Mason taking over, and definitely going back to 12 furlongs is going to suit. Dropping it back to 11 was never going to suit at Goodwood, and it was too quick a turnaround anyway. But that's a nice horse. He's by Wooten Bat. He's the best bred horse running the entire weekend. By Wooten Bassett out of Peeping Fawn. 4-time Group 1 winner for Aidan O'Brien. What an incredible filly she was.
I love Peeping Fawn.
Superstar of a racehorse for Aidan O'Brien back in the day. So that's an incredible pedigree, and did shape really, really well at Goodwood. Stayed on very strongly towards the end in the first of his runs. The second one was just forget about it. This race would suit better, but might be better going further. Might be one for the tracker over a mile 6 if he gets beaten at the weekend, and they're not giving much away at 4-1. Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, 3 runs as well in just over a week would be the bit of the concern. But, Johnson has got quite a good record in this. He won 2 of the last 5 as well, so that's worth mentioning now. It looks like a sort of a bit of a game of 2 halves race, isn't it? You've got those sort of top 3 at the top of the bear, a load of sort of outsiders. But, top team, the form of that, it's on 4-timer or something, or whatever, it's won a load on the spin. And that form's been franked last time. That Sir William came out, I think, and won at Windsor on Monday. That was third. And there's the horse that came 4th last time has won as well since. So that's the sort of conundrum. But I think the favourite looks the one with the slightly more scope for improvement, and the fact it's won at the course as well. I just from Tenability. That's the call.
I'll tell you what, I actually think I'm going to back him, Dowie, just because, no offence, jockeys, but I've never seen you at Ascot. I don't know how you're going to handle it. So
there's no reserve here either. So it's interesting. So George, you were talking about Hackney Diamonds being entered somewhere else. I mean, if that does get pulled out of here, it's going to sort of cock up the whole thing in it, because they have to have. Don't they have to have a minimum of, an even nut? I don't know, but it's no reserve.
It's the dead 8. Oh, no.
Dead 8 for the each way as well. But anyway, we'll see.
Peter?
Yeah, the favourite probably here, lads, I think might take a bit of beating. An improving Haggis horse is very well bred. Needs the 12th. I actually noted him on his debut, and I said he needs a longer trip, and he's got that from last time. And he won well. He probably needs even longer. So I think he'll progress. And look, he's not much value, so it's hard to get carried away. But I think he's the most likely winner, tenability.
Definitely the most likely winner. I would worry about the jockey. Again, no disrespect. I'm sure she's great talent, but it's Ascot. And Joanna Mason knows Ascot well. And then Dowie's well weighted off a mark of 80, I would think. So I'm going to side with him. Final one, 4:30. Speed round again. It's the Dubai duty-free Shergar Cup mile, over a mile, surprisingly. 130 is Urban Line for Jack Shannon. Hugh Bowman gets the ride. Who's going to win, though? George Gorman.
Afraid it's keep it simple. I think it's going to be Urban Lion. Back over the course and distance. He ran well over in the Hunt Cup. That defeat of Classic at Sandown in June's done nothing but been improved. The Hunt Cup itself, bullet points, franked the form by running well. Greek Order's run well twice since. And even EBT's Guard back in 7th has run well twice since. I just think he probably got the beating of these. It's not that good a race. Misinformation disappointed me last time. EBT's Guard is probably getting closer to being well handicapped with this horse, but I just couldn't. Reserves would be interesting if they got in, but none of the others interested me. So Urban Lion it was. And I should say, did very well to only get beat a length and 3/4 in the Hunt Cup and go up a pound. That's incredibly. I don't know who they paid for that, but Jesus, they've done very well.
It's the old boys club, George. It's the old boys club. It's the gentleman's club. It's like in Yes Minister when Humphrey will be having a cigar and a glass of brandy in the gentleman's club talking about who really runs the country. That's what it was.
But hold on a second. That's a good point, because if that was in Ireland, that horse probably get put up 4 or 5 pounds, and that's the difference. That's why we're seeing a lot of UK horses winning handicaps who never normally nearly get a sniff off.
Yeah. You can go again with that 4 or 5, with that 7 pounds, by the way. Andy Newton?
Yeah, look, last 5 have been drawn 6 or lower, so that's a plus for your one there, George. Urban Line drawn 1. That EBT's Guard, I think that's how you say, or Ep's Guard, that was a good second at Goodwood last time out. That's drawn 3, and that is a quick turnaround. I think running at Goodwood actually is a bit of a okay, stat as well. So that's another one. And look, the form that Golden Mind is probably just worth mentioning. The Fire horse a bit further down. I mean, look, it was 4th to 2 tribes, Ascot, at the end of July in that international handicap. Obviously, 2 drivers come out, one of the stewards. Somehow it's been dropped a bit like the handicap mark we just talked about. It's dropped a pound. Look, Fenton was on it last time out, so it's a bit of sort of math. But looks like it's running into form, and that's decent form with 2 tribes backing it up. So yeah, Golden Mind, Caris Teton, again, we don't know much about the old jock, but that form's there for everyone to see with Golden Mind, I think.
Even if I'm sure the jockey's brilliant, it's Ascot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a totally different kettle of fish. So that's one of the things I enjoy about watching it, is how does that skill set transfer over to Ascot? Doesn't mean you have to be betting on them, though. Peter Michael, land the plane. Who do you like?
Well, I think Urban Line, I mean, George was just going on about it there. I think his form, it's clear to see that he's got pretty solid form in this context of this race, and there's a chance that 7-2 could get shorter, just, on the bare facts of the form. So yeah, for me, I'd put him up as the most likely winner here. I wouldn't be getting stuck in or anything like that, but his form is there for everyone to see, and it's the best form on offer. So yeah, he's the one to beat.
Okay, time for the best bets. We've taken you through every single race on Shergar Cup Day at Ascot, and we've taken you through all the ITV races in less than 53 minutes. So let's find out who the best bets for the weekend are, beginning with George Gorman.
I'll go Urban Lion as the nap. Almu Hit is the next best, but I would say it'd be very close. It's only the fact you got Hugh Bowman on Urban Lion, and I don't know Caris Teton, that would swing me that way. It'd be very, very close between 2, but just because I know it's a jockey that knows English tracks and how English racing works, I will go with Urban Lion as the nap.
Okay, Urban Lion for George Gorman. Andy Newton, your nap.
I think the 355 at Ascot, that 10 ability, the Haggis horse, the improver over that trip, looked good last time. And just the 2 each way ones, I think Golden Mind in that race we just talked about, 430, and 7 questions in the 130. Just looks too big a price, doesn't it? At 20-1 or 18-1, whatever it is, that goes in the 135 at Ascot. Yeah, so yeah.
Yes, Andy Newton. Yes. So I don't like asking the team for their best bets beforehand. I'll just put my scumbag each way lucky 63 for interest this Saturday on the screen for you now. If you're listening on the podcast app, here it is for you. I'm going to go Sunfall in the 225 Haydock, Royal Dubai, 3 o'clock Haydock, Ides of March, we'll take a chance. Hopefully we're getting the price. 325 Curragh, Venetian Lace, 340 Newmarket, 7 questions, 135 Ascot, and Mdawi, 355 Ascot, and that's more to do with the jockey factor and the weight that horse is carrying. I think the favourite, William Haggis, really should be winning that race, but jockey factor is key. Go on, Joanna Mason. Do a job for us. Hopefully those horses can all place at the very least, and if they all win, see you in Dubai. You're not going to be in Dubai, Peter, but you are going to be off sunning yourself next week. So what's going to pay for that?
Actually, I just want to say hi to a guy who came up when I was in Galway for a few days, and the guy came over, Josh, and he said to me, are you the idiot that never stops talking shite on the Final Furlong podcast? And I said, no, that's Andy Newton. No, but I want to say hi to Josh. He's a fan of the show, so I said I'd say hi to him, and he's a nice guy, so I nearly forgot, so thank God I didn't.
Shout out, Josh. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, he likes the show. I'm going to go. I know he said I haven't studied the race, but Milford, I'm going to go for Milford because I know he's going to win soon, or he's going to go very close, and the other horses in the race need to study. Like Prince of India, for example, has gone up a good bit, and Zaire might be the easiest to win with, so Milford is my nap, the 320 at Ascot, and Military Order in the 3 o'clock at Haydock will be my next best. And I'd also be sweet and sad to be True Love in a forecast. I can't see anything really getting in the way of that.
It's kind of wild that we're getting the price we're getting about Stad. That price is not going to hold up, I don't think. There is a Group 1 in France on Sunday. No line in Winter. He's been taken out of that race, but really, Lazat should be winning. Bavati will be intriguing there in a Sheeran Gosford as well. And just because we were doing some work earlier on today, in the last week, these are the top 10 most listened to cities of the Final Furlong podcast. Shout out Dublin, Manchester, London, Gateshead in England, Glasgow, Birmingham, Saffron Walden, Romford, Bristol, and Leeds. Cheers to you all for listening to the Final Furlong podcast on your favorite podcast app. It's much appreciated. Have you smashed the like button? Have you hit the subscribe button? 70% of you don't hit the subscribe button. What do we have to do? Why? Just hit the subscribe button, please. It's a massive help to us with the algorithm. And it just shows us that you're part of the team. We really like to engage with you as well. We'd love your comments as to who your best bets for the weekend are as well. If you think Peter Michael passed too much, call him Declan Rice again. Have a pop at me for spouting nonsense. The two boys be nice too. Comments below on YouTube are much appreciated. Likes and shares on your favorite podcast app are much appreciated as well. From George Gorman, Andy Newton, Peter Michael, and me, Emmet Kennedy, we are back with you on Monday to review all the action. Till then, look after yourself and each other. God bless.
Thanks for spending some time with us on the Final Furlong podcast. We're independent media, so if you like what we do, hit like, share, and subscribe. It's free, it's quick, and it genuinely helps. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more where that came from. Don't miss out. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all major platforms, and join us on the gravy train. The Final Furlong podcast, independent, unfiltered, and powered by you.